Right, guys, what a day. What a day. The 23rd of September, and the weather is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I can get out and about now. When it's hot, I really can't go anywhere. When it's 34, but now it's 23 degrees, but it's absolutely wonderful. So I've just posted uh, two videos. Right, so the day started, and I went to feed the dog, which I've showed before actually. So, and then I planned to go up above the villages into the mountains, and just really just to go there. And I thought I'll take the camera and shoot a little bit of stuff, and still trying to get the hang of this camera to trying to pick out the distant vistas in the mountains and that. I think you can do it with the afterwards with the editing packages and that. But I've got to look into that, because it's not kind of picking out the and these action cameras, they don't have the zooms that like the ultra expensive cameras have, like the D400 and stuff like that. So even I might have to get one of them in the end, because a lot of the stuff I want to do here will be just that, like filming vistas and that. So and what a day! And I went up and to the top of to the place where it's a good kind of vista, and just watch the vids. And then when I came down, I said there was a guy on a quad bike, and I thought, well, I did say actually at the end of the video, this might be the shepherd, and it was. And he was, what a guy, fantastic. And he lives over when I pointed north with the camera, he lives over there. This road goes right round to the north and back into the main town. But it's pretty gnarly, it's pretty, you can just about do it in the Jeep. I could probably do it in the Subaru, but like I wouldn't want to chance damaging it at the moment, I just don't feel like fixing a broken car. And that's where he lives. He lives round there. And what a guy! And we had a fantastic chat. And I know his name now. And he said, if you're coming past his place, I don't know how I'd know if it was his house or not. It's like the boonies. That's what they call it in the USA. The boonies, and it's like middle of nowhere. But I think they've got electric there, and I'm not sure about the internet and that. But like, this is the boonies, and no one will bother them there. So anyway, I said, are you the cow man? Are you looking after the cows? And he said, no, the sheep. And I said, oh right. I said, all these sheep are yours? He said, yeah. I said, oh man, that's fantastic. So I said, how many sheep have you got? And he said, oh, quite a lot. And I said, and he didn't want to say the number. I don't, who knows? Maybe he just doesn't want to show off, or whatever reason. And I said, how many sheep have you got? And he said 1,000. So that's what we were looking at today. That's all his sheep. And he turned up, switched the bike off, and then we had the chat for about 20 minutes. And he said, well, who are you? And I said, well, I'm just an English guy. And he's like, you can see going on, is what the fuck's this guy doing up here, you know? That's what they all think. And he's like, he starts to unravel it then. He said, well, how long have you been here? And I said, well, 20 years. On and off. And I told him where I lived, right? And it turns out he'd met our road trip manager, my friend, in the mountains there, because he goes up and gets mushrooms and that, and he'd met him and had a chat with him. He said, oh yeah. I said, you know where the sign is for the village? I lived down there. He said, oh, that's where Docho lives. And I said, yeah, he's my we're good friends, and we go all over the Balkans together. And I'm the driver. And he said, oh, right. Oh, I see. And it's all coming together, all the information, you know. And so he's saying, how old are you? And I said, well, how old are you? And this is how it carries on in BG. Everyone wants to know these things, where you live, how old you are, and how many kids you've got, and what you're doing there. But it's not to be nosy. It's not to be nosy. They just... Because he'll go back now to like where he lives, and he'll say, I met this English bloke in the middle of nowhere. He was like, you know, in amongst all my sheep in this Subaru. And he's talking about the Subaru and all the rest of it. And he said, how old are you? And I said, oh, he was 68. Fit as a fiddle on a quad bike, Kawasaki 650. So that's a proper quad bike. That's not one of these Chinese things, you know. This is a serious bike. And he seems to operate alone, because Docho never said he was with anyone. And he's got 1,000 sheep, and I actually discussed it previously with Docho. I said, well, so how much will he get for a sheep? You know, and does he use them for milk or cheese? I don't think so. It doesn't look like. I mean, where's he going to milk them? And that kind of stuff. So maybe it's just for meat. Who knows? I didn't get to the bottom of that one. You know, you don't want to ask him like how many of his little babies he's going to kill and all that. How much they are. But I should have. Because I could do with a sheep every year, you know, or two. You know, and get it butchered. There's people who will butcher them for you. And so he's my new friend. He said, do you drink rakia? Well, I said, well, yeah, and no. I said, I prefer not to, but I will. If you've made it, you know, and you want someone to taste it. I said, but no, I drink wine. Yeah, he said, we've got everything there. He said, if you're ever passing down that road, he said that just ask someone where's Basil, you know. Well, it's Vasil here, Vasil with a V, but it's Basil, you know. So what a great day and what a conversation, right? And I know all about Vasil now, and he knows all about me. And he'll be talking now. He'll be saying, I met this guy, and next time I see my friend Docho, I'll tell him I met that shepherd who you were talking to. And it's all one big happy family. And like, you know, you go in the sheep farming areas in Wales, and I've been through a few, walking in the mountains, and those guys are hostile. Whoa, you don't want to bump into one of them. You don't want to bump into one of them. I've said hello to a few of them, and they won't even talk to you. In the middle of nowhere, they won't even talk to you. Some of them will, the odd one. But like, the exception to the rule, but mainly. So here's a thing for the Welsh. There's nothing wrong with talking to people, and they'll even like you then and maybe look after, close the gates. But there's no gates here. There's nothing. It's just like the Wild West. It's just like the sheep just pour over the land, and it's good for the land because they've got cattle up there as well. Very healthy looking cows. I've seen them up there, and and they keep the land from becoming a fire hazard. They keep all the grass down to like pasture level. But there's plenty of trees, as you saw on the footage. They don't just have walls and just bare land like Wales or maybe Scotland for the sheep land. They don't. They have all nooks and crannies. It's quite picturesque actually, because they leave as the trees for whatever reason, maybe to stop avalanches, maybe just because they don't want to erode the land, because you can get erosion and land creeping and all the rest of it. So they manage it quite well, and it's like and it looks quite good. It looks good as well. It looks like patchwork rather than these stone walls, like in Wales. But so there's a thing, and like the farmers, and I actually met some farmers in Scotland, and they were very friendly actually. So there you go, Mr. Welsh farmers. Maybe a lesson learned, because we're not all bad. People who go up into the hills, we're not all bad. And he stopped and talked to me actually. I didn't stop him. He stopped and said like, "You're all right," kind of. What you're up to, kind of thing. He says, "How you doing?" or whatever it was, Cupravish. That's what they do. That's what they say. A lot of the country folk. And then after that, I came back here, and I bought a chicken on the way. And then I've just made a new recipe of rice, pilaf rice. It's like a Middle Eastern recipe, Turkey, Iran, all around there, and they put fruits in things, And I made that with garam masala. However you say it. What is it? Garam masala. Anyway, and a little bit of turmeric, ginger, garlic, onion, all the normal things, and then a load of raisins. And the raisins are they're the thing in the rice. They go mega with rice, like coronation chicken, like what we used to have, coronation or coronation rice. You have raisins in that, and it really does bring the flavour out of everything. With a ready-made chicken, what a day! I mean, what a day in Bulgaria. Fantastic. It's not even 3:00 yet. I mean, anything could happen now. Scantily clad lady could knock on the door any second, and say, "Are you Nick?" who met the father, and he's got 3 kids, and they live over the mountain in South Bulgaria, just at the bottom of the other side of the pass place there, and that's where they live. And but imagine a guy saying, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to get 1,000 sheep and become a shepherd up here." Because he said he moved here. He didn't say when. I didn't catch that one. He might have done. But like, imagine that. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get like 1,000 sheep, and I don't know what all the rules and regulations are about, like where he can uh, graze all these sheep. And is it? There's a lot of land here which is like it's like wilderness land. It's not like owned by sort of anyone, but if you need permission, you probably do. If it's not that wild here, you probably need permission, and especially you need to register your animals. They've all got, well, some of them have got tags. Especially all the cattle have got tags, all of them. The cows, they're a bit more controlled, I think, but the sheep, I think they haven't. So it will be regulated and controlled, but like as where you can take them and where you can graze them, because this isn't. I don't think it's private land. And if it is, I mean, how would he sort all that out? With the owners. I know down in the valley, if you've got land, if you've got some fields there, and you let the cows graze there, you get free milk off the guy. Plus, he's controlling your land from becoming a jungle. So it's symbiosis. You're getting the free milk, and he's getting the grazing, but he's also tidying up your land. You don't have to cut the grass. And I think it's some of them now. They let the grass grow, and then they just sell the hay. These tractors come now and make hay bales. So that's the other way of doing it. Rather than let the cows direct onto your land, they'll let it grow, and then they probably make some money on it then, rather than just like symbiosis. You clear the land and give me free milk, kind of thing. I don't know how it all works, but I'm guessing. Well, I do know that for a fact, because I know someone who's got a field, and that's the deal. That's the deal. They get the free milk. Okay, so what a day, and I might I've got another vid about driving back through the village, so I might put that up. But I won't make any commentary on that. I'll just put it up. But I've really enjoyed that today, and meeting that guy was fantastic, And these people, it's not just a passing. He'll know all about me now, and he'll log it. And he knew all about Dotcho, and I know Dotcho. He just met him up the hills, and he remembered everything about him, his name, where he lived, everything. Because these guys are up there alone for months in the winter. He wouldn't see a soul for months. Well, he would, because there's people go up there, for all sorts of reasons. So yeah, I mean, it's great because although he seems to be in the wilderness, he's gonna meet people up there on his patch, basically. And like, if you're in like a city centre, you're not going to stop people, are you, and say, "How you doing? How many kids have you got? How old are you?" In the city, but in the wilderness, it's different. It's all different set of rules, and it's better, I think. Anyway, okay. Cheers.